I'm Umar with Indigo Healing, and today I'm going to talk to you about saging.
Okay.
There are many reasons to sage, there are many ways to do it. Now, traditionally, we know that Native American cultures and also some African cultures and a few other cultures have all used saging. Today, my goal is to explain the importance of saging and to also share with you my personal technique for saging. Now, there are many ways to do it. I myself have friends that do it all kinds of ways. They have their own little specific rituals that they've developed, things that they like to do, such as playing music before, maybe saying a prayer, maybe saying a chant, possibly meditating. All of these ways are as good as any to me. But what I'd like to do is share with you my personal preferred method. So before I start saging, I always like to start with blessed water. Now, I take the blessed water and I apply it to my hands, and I like to set an intention. Blessed water can come from a few places. Now, it's too much to talk about in this video. I prefer to get mine either from a temple or to have your pastor, priest, or spiritual prayer minister pray over the water for you. After I've done that, I set the intention. My intention for saging today is to clear any stagnant energy from said object. May it be your house, maybe a belonging that you got back from an ex-lover, or maybe you let your sister or brother borrow something and just the energy of it doesn't feel right, and you want to cleanse that energy. That is the purpose of saging. You want to reclaim the space or reclaim the object. If you're moving from a home and you want to cut all ties with that old place in order to establish a new relationship with your new place, you may sage the house you're leaving. You may also sage the house you're moving to or the office that you're moving to. If you've had objects maybe at an old office, and let's say you were fired, let go, all of those things may carry energy from that last event, so saging them helps to clear it. I like to purchase my sage sticks from Whole Foods. Now, there are lots of places, probably in whatever city that you live in, that carry them. What I've noticed is that the sage that I purchase at Whole Foods tends to burn better. Why is this important? The last thing that you want to have happen while you're trying to get into this spiritual mode of cleansing is to have to keep relighting your sage. It's annoying. I've done it on several occasions. And let me tell you, it really takes you out of the mood of clearing and cleansing the environment. So you have your sage stick. The next thing you want to do is, after you've set your intention, is visualize. So as you're burning the sage, and I'm going to go ahead and light it, you want to visualize the smoke that is released from the sage billowing over, around, and onto the walls, the objects, wherever you're using the sage to clear. Now, if you are thinking like I normally think, you're asking, Umar, what about saging myself? And you absolutely can do that. In fact, I often sage my clients during the energy work sessions. Now, you want a nice burn like so, like this. This is how it should be burning. And at this point in time, I'm going to give you a warning. Lots of embers usually fly off while you're saging. So if you're going to be in any area that has carpet or any type of nice finishes such as leather sofas or upholstery, you want to be very careful, and this is why I have this bowl, so that as I graze over an object, I can cover it, so that the embers that fly out from the sage and the sparks will not land onto furniture, carpets, and various objects that you may not want destroyed. Now, using this flame aimer, I'm going to use this flame aimer as an object to show you what I would do. So I would wave my sage back and forth, focusing on my visualization, allowing that smoke to go around the object, on top of the object, visualizing it, cleansing and removing all of the energy. Now, if you're doing a large space like a house, it may take you several hours to actually cleanse and clear it. I always recommend that if you're going to cleanse your house, that you prepare properly. Make sure that you eat, make sure you have something to drink, turn off all cell phones, all televisions. You want to have a clear mind. If you run through the house with the sage, and let's say it takes you maybe 45 minutes to 2 hours, depending on how large the space is that you're trying to clear, you may want to do open doors, open cabinets, making sure that you open the door to the house itself, the front door and the back door, and also windows, so that whatever energy is trapped and not circulating can circulate. This is very important. If there's something that needs to leave, you're giving it the okay to do that. Now, after I've started lighting my sage and going around my object, there are a few things you can do. For those of you who are religious, whatever religion that you belong to, there may be a prayer that you like to say. Now would be the time to say it. So some of my friends like to recite psalms. Some of my friends like to have mantras. I personally like to use affirmative statements, some affirmative prayers. So as I'm going over this object, I may say something like, peace covers my whole space. My space is filled with love and light. All energy that is stale, please leave now. So we are making some affirmations and also making some declarations. I call love into this space now. May peace and love dwell in this object now. Like so. After I am done, when I'm completely done saging, you want to make sure that you put this out. My preferred method for putting it out is running it underwater and allowing it to dry. That way I am sure, for certain, that there is no more smoke and no more flame coming from here. This can help save you from burning your house down. So double check and make sure it's out completely. For the sake of the video, I'm not going to put it out. But next, I'm going to talk to you about practice that you can do after you've completed saging. So now you've gotten this energy out of the space. Another important thing to remember is that nature does not like a void. It will fill it with something. You've taken so much time to clear the object, clear the space. So now you want to go back and imprint and encode what messages that are acceptable to dwell in the space, right? So I'm going to finish with, thank you, Divine Creator, for clearing this space. I'm using rose water, which is known to raise the vibration and frequency. So you've cleared the energy out, and now you want to put something back in. So at this point in time, I may play a love song. I may play something like gospel music. I may play something like a binaural beat. So now you're seeing how flexible you can be with. You can get rose water at a local health food store. You can also use a blend of essential oils or other things like Prosperity Blend Mist, aromatherapy mist. You just want to leave something sweet smelling in the space. Essential oils tend to have higher vibrations. The thing that you wouldn't want to do is use like an ordinary air freshener, like Renews It or something like that. You want to make sure that it's something that is as close to natural as possible. After you've completed that, I like to go through with regular old iodine salt, table salt, which is also good for neutralizing. So after I cleanse the space, I want to make sure that I continue to grab anything that may have been left in the space. So this is going to go back in and neutralize further. And I usually will take a pinch and I will sprinkle it over bedding, in chairs, on the floor. If you have a space which has difficult finishes, like some of the newer vinyls and the different wood flooring, that's very difficult to get salt out of. So I will take bowls and I will place salt in the bowls, one in each room, and allow it to finish collecting the rest of the energy that is stuck or stale. You want to leave it for about 24 hours. If you do not have a full 24 hours to allow it to set, I think 8 is sufficient, but you want to give it some time so that you can really make sure that that energy has a chance to clear out, be absorbed, and clear for you to set an intention that works for you. So let's say you chose to use the salt in a bowl method. You would want to set about this much salt. It's approximately 4 to 5 tablespoons in each room. This works really well in wardrobe closets where you don't want your clothes to smell like sage, in addition to using this mist. So normally I will walk through areas with my clothes very quickly. I don't work as detailed with the sage in small closeted areas where my clothes are kept. I don't want my clothes to smell like stinky sage. So this is why you can see how important the salt and these mists are, because it's going to further help you cleanse the area. Now, after you're done with the salt, you don't want to use this salt for anything else. You want to make sure that you discard it in the trash. Now, some people have the belief that you should throw it outdoors immediately and not allow it to stay in the house. That never mattered to me. I usually just throw it in the trash. I know that the trash is going to go out in a couple of days, so I'm not really too worried about this staying in my house. When I am done, I like to go in and say a little bit of prayer, thanking whatever you believe in, whatever you consider is your divine source. Pray and thank it for helping you with the cleansing. This is almost like the stamp that you want to seal everything in. You want to be sure and claim the space. If you claim the space, you are marking your territory and you are letting energetic forces know that you command and control the space and that they have to get your permission to stay, enter, and dwell where you dwell. Thank you for watching today's video on how to sage. If you have any questions or comments, please don't hesitate to reach out. Also, remember to share or like this video. You can even subscribe to our channel. For more information, please view the text below.